It is my privilege to welcome Mr. Paul Bleiler. He's a resident of Santa Rosa County, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. We appreciate it. You are a World War II veteran, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand that you were born in the early 20s. Where was it that you were born?
Born in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Eastern part of Pennsylvania.
The eastern part. And
Yeah.
that was during the Great Depression, is that right? What was it like growing up at that time in our nation?
Well, my dad always had steady work. He was a principal of the school, so he had steady work, and I wasn't affected by the Depression because he always had income, and we did all right. He didn't have much income, but we had enough to get by.
In the late 1930s, most particularly September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Now, at that time, we certainly didn't have the internet. In fact, we didn't really even have the television or even the radio communications that we have today. Do you recall when you first learned of that military invasion and how long maybe it took for people here in the United States to hear that Germany had in fact invaded Poland?
Well, I was a great newspaper reader. My dad got me into that. So I kept up with that even in the early part of the 30s when I was quite young. And we also had the radio, which helped. And of course, I was aware of what was going on then.
And you mentioned that your father was a principal. The flight that we are about to embark on to Washington, D.C., the honor flight, to take you and your comrades, World War II veterans, to see your memorial, a great portion of that is paid for by our students in Santa Rosa County, Florida. They've raised their money through penny drives, airplane contests. I'm not sure whether or not you were aware of that. But if you could help them have a perspective from a historical sense of what it was like in our nation in the late 1930s, the early 40s, when you started to see servicemen and maybe even a few women go off to war.
Well, my case, I started college in 1940 and put in my freshman year, and then we were short of funds, so I started working at a steel mill. And by that time, we were in World War II. And I was working from 4 in the afternoon to 12 midnight, got home about 1:30 in the morning, and got up the next morning to go to school. So fortunately, that kept me in college, and I was able to eventually get into the Navy V-12 program.
Do you recall where you were? I mean, a lot of people in modern day, they remember where they were on 9/11. They remember what they were doing. Even folks of a generation before that will remember where they were when it was announced that Kennedy was assassinated. Do you remember where you were on December 7th, 1941?
Yes, I was listening to the football game up in my bedroom. It was New York Giants against the Philadelphia team. Listening to that, and they interrupted and said that Pearl Harbor had been bombed.
Over the 10, nice block there by Lehman. Cup still going, he's up to the 25, and now he's hit and hit hard about the 27-yard line. Bruiser Kennard made the tackle. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this important bulletin from the United Press. Flash, Washington. The White House announces Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Well, I didn't know anything about Pearl Harbor, but that was the start of it. I went down and told my parents downstairs what happened, and that was the start of it.
Let's talk about your military service. You were in the Naval Security Group. You were a communications officer, is that correct?
Right.
What was your role? Were you what they call a cryptologist? Is that an
Well,
accurate?
at that point, I was a deck officer. I hadn't gotten into the crypto part of it at that point. And then I had orders for the 7th Fleet. That was the fleet that was with Douglas MacArthur. I would have been in the invasion of Japan. And while I was home on leave, first atomic bomb was dropped. And I remember my dad brought the newspaper into me Sunday morning and woke me up and showed me that. And I think he was relieved that maybe I wouldn't get involved. But
So how long did you stay in the military then after that?
Well, I had to go over to, I'm stationed in the Philippines then for about 9 months after the war ended.
And do you ever have opportunities now to see or talk to or have any contact with anyone who you served with during World War II? As I understand it, we are losing our World War II veterans by the thousands every day. Your health, thankfully, looks very good. You're very blessed. I think you're part of the younger generation of folks who served during World War II. Do you ever have opportunity to keep in contact with some
Most of my friends from World War II have died. Yeah, some very good friends. I kept in contact with them for many years.
Were we more patriotic then than we are today, do you think?
I don't know. You talked about the general public. I think maybe Pearl Harbor had a lot to do with that, the fact that we were attacked there. And the latest wars, we sort of got involved in ways that were different from that.
And what about showing appreciation for veterans? What kind of things do you think school children can and should do, or the general population, to thank our veterans?
Well, I think the things they're doing for the World War II veterans on these honor flights, that's very good. And I think there ought to be more of that for the veterans now, show their appreciation.
Well, Mr. Blyther, we look forward to tomorrow when we will embark on the trip with you. Thank you so much for sharing some of your story with us in advance. And I think it will be a wonderful day for all of the veterans. And we hope in some way that we can all learn from your experiences tomorrow, from sharing the stories that you all will share with one another, and maybe have an opportunity to see someone who you served with.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
And thank you for your time today.
Thank
we appreciate
you.
it.
Right.
It is roughly 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun is barely up. 103 World War II veterans, 34 guardians, their families and friends have been up for hours in great anticipation for today's 4th Emerald Coast Honor Flight. Pensacola Regional Airport has been a flurry of activity for several hours already as volunteers set up to greet our heroes. They will welcome them, check them in, help them through security in a special line run by TSA volunteers just for the veterans, and then guide or wheel them to the gate. Excitement and enthusiasm fill the airport. Just after 5 a.m., the veterans have started to arrive. Our favorite World War II veteran, Mr. Blyther, is here, and we welcome him. Did you get any sleep last night, Paul? You did? What time did you happen to make it into bed?
I bet you never went to bed.
Joining me now is one of our World War II veterans, Bob Dodge. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live?
I live in Navarre, on East Bay Boulevard. I live on right by the bay.
And are you born and raised in Santa Rosa County?
I'm a Bostonian, born in Boston. Been down in Florida since 1972.
Can you tell us a little bit about your military service?
I went in when I was 15.
15?
Yeah, and I got out when I was 18.
Did they know you were 15?
No. We belonged to the Liars Club. And they had to lie about your age to get in. But we had a post to military underage veterans and everything. We have a club there. And I was commander of the post once. And now I'm getting older. I don't do much. Still ride a motorcycle.
Now, tell me, what is your age, if you don't mind?
I'm 82.
82 years old. And when was it that you enlisted?
43.
In 1943. And can you tell us where you served?
I served in building airstrips in the Pacific. I was in the Seabees.
In the Seabees, so you went overseas into the Pacific. Do you recall, you had not yet obviously enlisted when Pearl Harbor was attacked on December the 7th. Do you recall where you were?
Yeah, I was in school. My brother graduated and enlisted the day after we graduated in 1941. And he went over. He lost 2 ships and he got killed at Okinawa. I was supposed to meet him. But life goes on, you know.
We are here this morning. It's just about 6 o'clock, getting ready to board the honor flight. What does this mean to you today to be going on this trip?
Oh, I think I think this is a special privilege to me because I love the kids from Navarre High School, and the kids raised all the money, and I went on a trip with them to Louisiana too, and I had 4 girls down there that were just wonderful. I wrote a letter to the paper, they put it and everything. I wrote one to the principal, and I go see them on Veterans Day. They put like 4,000 flags out. I go up and help them do that and stuff like that.
And have you been to Washington, D.C. before?
I've been to Washington, D.C. I've never been to the monument, no.
So this will be your first time to the memorial. Do you mind if we follow you around a little bit today?
Mind a bit. If you're the best looking thing I've seen here, would I mind? I'm old, but I'm not dead, darling.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much. It is our privilege to be able to honor you and to honor your fellow servicemen and women, and it's just a small way for us to show our gratitude for all that you have done for your service, your continued service to our country and to our veterans, and so we thank you. Joining us now is Mr. Ira West. Thank you so much for joining us, and you go by Earl, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And Earl, are you a Floridian?
Yes.
And where is it that you live?
Chipley, Florida.
And have you always born and raised in Chipley?
No, I was born in Alabama, but been a Florida resident for many years, since about 1929.
And you are a World War II veteran. Can you
Yes.
tell us about your service, please?
I was in the Navy for 3 years and 8 months, mostly aboard the USS Wake Island and in the Atlantic and Pacific.
And did you enlist or were you recruited?
I enlisted, and my greatest accomplishment, I feel like, we went back with MacArthur in the Philippines. So that was a great accomplishment.
Do you recall where you were on December 7th, 1941?
Yes. I was in Chipley, Florida, in front of the old City Hall building. At 1 in the afternoon, we heard on the news that Pearl Harbor had been struck. And never will forget it.
And how long after that until you enlisted?
About a year later, I enlisted in January 1943. And I spent the summer of 42 in Ann Arbor, Michigan with an aunt that lived there. And they had a lot going at that time in Ann Arbor. A lot of war activity, which is not too far from Ford Motor Company that was manufacturing the Jeeps and planes and tanks.
And do you recall where you were when the bombing of Hiroshima happened?
Yes. I was in the hospital in Bremerton, Washington, from an injury that I had received during the invasion of Luzon in the Philippines. And but that's where I was whenever they did that. Of course, that more or less ended the war with the Hiroshima bomb.
And now we're about to board the flight to Washington, D.C. Have you seen the memorial yet?
I saw it only in a book, and I'm looking forward to seeing it very much. I'm glad to be here.
Did you sleep much last night?
I did fair. It's kind of exciting, and so I'm really looking forward to getting there.
Well, a majority of this flight was paid for by Santa Rosa County students who raised money, saved their pennies, did all kinds of things. Were you aware of that?
I did not know who particularly made the contribution, but I was aware that most of the trip is for own donations, which we certainly do appreciate.
Well, we certainly do appreciate your service to our country. We look forward to spending the day with you. We hope that in some small way this shows you the gratitude that Americans feel for the greatest generation and your service during World War II. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
It is time to board the plane, which will fly directly from Pensacola to Washington, D.C. Reagan National Airport. Under the welcoming and watchful eye of volunteer Sheila Bowman of Congressman Jeff Miller's office, the veterans are escorted onto the plane and greeted by the U.S. Airways flight crew members who have volunteered their time today.
I'll watch for you.
Shortly after takeoff, it's mail call, with letters from local students being delivered to each veteran. Appropriately so, it is a hero's welcome to Washington, D.C. While still on the tarmac, they are greeted by a water cannon salute from the local fire department. Once inside the terminal, grateful volunteers and travelers cheer for our veterans, some of whom cannot hold back their emotions as tears of joy join their upturned smiles. A military band greets them with patriotic music.
Monroe, welcome to Washington, D.C. How does it feel?
It feels real wonderful.
How about this welcome that they've given you
It
here?
is wonderful, and glad we were able to do what we did.
We sure are glad to have you here, and welcome to Washington, D.C.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Pensacola, Florida.
And where did you serve in the military,
I
sir?
served in the Air Force, the Army Air Corps in Europe.
In Europe.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
tell us a little bit about your military service?
Well, it was a war and all, and that's what we had to do, and we did it.
And you did it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, enjoy your day today, and we'll catch up with you all day long, and welcome to Washington.
Thank you, ma'am.
What do you think of this welcome here?
Oh, it's wonderful.
How was your flight?
Very good, very good.
They treated you well?
Oh, yes.
U.S. Airways, did you know that those pilots and all the crew donated their time?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that nice? And then here you are getting a nice warm welcome.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And you served in the military?
I was a Navy nurse on a hospital ship,
On a hospital ship. Which ship was that?
USS Refuge.
And can you tell us a little bit about where? Were you in the Pacific Theater and the European Theater?
We were in both theaters. We were in Normandy for the invasion. We were in North Africa, in the Philippines.
So you traveled quite a bit.
Most of the theaters we were in.
And what do you think of this welcome here in
I
Washington?
think it's wonderful. I am surprised.
Have you ever been to Washington?
Yes, I was stationed at Bethesda twice.
And have you seen the World War II Memorial?
No, I haven't.
You looking forward to it?
I certainly am.
It is my honor and privilege to welcome Sue Lell to the program. Sue, thank you so much for your service to our country.
Thank you.
Tell us about your military service.
It was very short. I went in close to the end of the war, and I spent all the time at the Fleet Post Office in San Francisco.
And so you were in charge of trying to help get letters over to our soldiers?
I was in the coding department, where we coded where the mail went.
And was there a lot of mail going out at that time?
Oh, yes. A lot of mail.
Any interesting things that people tried to send to their soldiers?
Well, that wasn't in my department.
Okay.
They had a department for that.
So were you in San Francisco when we dropped the bombs on Japan and the war
Yes.
ended?
Yes, I was.
Can you tell us what it was like in San Francisco when people heard that news?
Well, it was very wild because I had just come out of the movies, and it was just madness on Market Street. Somebody made a dive for my cap, and I put it under my shoulder. But it was, matter of fact, they closed down everything for a couple of days.
Have you been to Washington, D.C. before?
Not since 1947.
So this is your first time seeing the memorial?
Yes,
What does it mean to you?
a lot.
And what are you aware that some Santa Rosa County students raised $33,000?
I think that makes it even more special.
It certainly is. What do you think of this welcome here?
Love it.
Did you sleep much last night?
Not much. Much too excited.
Well, I don't think you'll have time for a nap today, but maybe on the plane ride home.
It'll have to be then. It won't be now.
No. Well, you enjoy your day, and we'll be watching for you soon.
Thank you so much.
It is my honor and privilege to welcome to the program Congressman Jeff Miller. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's great to be with you again.
Yes, it is. Well, we're here in Washington, D.C. Many thanks to you and to your staff for the very hard work that they have done on behalf of Emerald Coast Honor Flight. Tell us how this program got started.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the congratulations and the thanks, but the thanks goes obviously to the veterans and the people who made this country and this world what it is today. But Vicki and I were walking one Saturday past the World War II Memorial, and we saw some World War II veterans there as a group, and one of my colleagues was with them. He told me about the Honor Flight program. We'd never heard about it. And once we let the people in Northwest Florida know about it, the contributions started coming in, the volunteers started coming in, and this actually started with one individual helping bring people up here on private airplanes, and of course it's grown tremendously from then.
And the list of volunteers is endless. People who put this together, the contributions. This is a special flight for our school children throughout Santa Rosa County within your district. What does it mean to you to represent those children who saved their pennies, raised, I think it was $33,000 you were presented with?
Well, they raised a lot of money, and you name it, they raised it in all types of fashion. But for the latest generation to make a personal connection with what is termed as the greatest generation, it will be a history lesson that very few children will be able to experience.
Can you give us a snapshot within your district, District 1? Are you aware of how many World War II veterans we have?
There are overall veterans, about 105,000 veterans. Of those, there are about 6,000 World War II veterans. Obviously, the intent for Honor Flight is to have as many of those who would like to come to Washington get a chance to come see their memorial. This is the fourth flight. We've got a fifth one on the drawing board, going to happen very soon. And as long as we have contributions coming in to pay for the flights, we've got the volunteers, we've got the guardians that are paying their own way to come up here and participate. And we just have to say thank you to everybody who has made this a success.
Well, and thank you very much, Congressman. I know that you're not willing, you're very humble about taking credit for this, but a lot of the credit is certainly due to you. And we appreciate that because it's an easy way for all of us to honor the greatest generation. So thank you.
Thank you. And these are very special people, and it's an honor that's due them because they've earned it.
Where do we head to next?
World War II Memorial.
Very good. We'll see you there.
All right.
Thank you.
It is a short ride across the Potomac from Virginia to Washington, D.C. Along the way, a tour guide points out the monuments and sites. We roll past the Bureau of Engraving and Printing and the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. To our right, the Capitol stands in the distance, the flag at attention to welcome our heroes. To our left is the Washington Monument, with the Lincoln Memorial in the distance. A brief look at the White House South Lawn. The bus slows and another memorial, their memorial, comes into view. We have arrived at the World War II Memorial. In the words of Harry Truman, our debt to the heroic men and valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude. America will never forget their sacrifices. We are here at the World War II Memorial, right on the Mall area of Washington, D.C., right alongside the Potomac River. The 103 veterans from the Emerald Coast Honor Flight have arrived by bus, and they are taking some time now to visit their memorial. It's a beautiful memorial. It honors each of the different battles and honors our military servicemen and women who served during World War II. Please join us as we view many of the beautiful spectacles here at the memorial, and we join some of our veterans as they visit their memorial. The World War II Memorial is part of the U.S. Department of the Interior's National Park Service. Upon descending the bus, the veterans are greeted by park rangers who gratefully shake the hands of our heroes. Slowly, they approach their memorial. With every turn, there are reminders, some extremely painful, of their service to our country and of their fellow and some fallen comrades. Some remember December the 7th, 1941, when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. December 11th, 1941, when Germany declared war on the United States. June 4th through the 7th, 1942, and the Battle of Midway. June 6th, 1944, D-Day. May 7th, 1945, when Germany surrendered. August 6th and 9th, 1945, when the United States dropped atomic bombs on Japan. And August 14th, 1945, when Japan surrendered. The World War II Memorial was dedicated in 2004 to honor the 16 million who served in uniform and the many millions more who supported the war effort on the home front. On each side of the memorial's ceremonial entrance, sculptures recall scenes of America at war. The Freedom Fountain in the center is surrounded by pillars, which symbolize the 56 U.S. states, territories, and District of Columbia that united in a common cause to fight and win the most devastating war in world history. On each of the pillars hangs a wreath of oak and wheat, which symbolizes the nation's industrial and agricultural strength, both of which were essential to the success of the global war effort. At opposite ends of the memorial are the twin Atlantic and Pacific pavilions, which symbolize a war fought across two oceans. At Freedom Wall, there are 4,000 gold stars, which commemorate the more than 400,000 Americans who gave their lives in the war. As so appropriately stated in the brochure available on site, the World War II Memorial reminds future generations that we must sometimes sacrifice for causes greater than ourselves.
It is my extreme pleasure to welcome Mr. Bob Gates, World War II veteran, to the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be here. This is a wonderful event.
Are you enjoying your time in Washington?
Well, I spent 9 years here over the years, a long time ago in the Pentagon and so forth. I came specifically to see what we're just seeing now.
Your memorial.
World War II. I was in World War II and then Korea and then 3 years in Vietnam and Thailand, so I got quite a bit of too much war.
Well, I understand that you had some very interesting service that you did while you were in. You befriended Bob Hope, is that right?
I was the first USO show there ever was. I flew Bob all over Alaska and the Aleutians in 1942. At the end of the war, I flew him all over Europe for about a month in July of 1945. Then I went on 6 of the Christmas shows with him, and he just became my best friend. Very good. We played golf all over this world and had a lot of fun. I was in the White House twice with him, twice at the Palace in Buckingham, and twice at the Palace in Thailand with King Phumabol and Queen Sirikit.
Now, you got to witness firsthand what it was like for him to show up, to do a USO tour, to cheer up our servicemen and women. Did it make a difference, do you think?
Oh, boy. There's no man loved like that guy, and there'll never be another one like him. But the soldiers, the airmen, the Navy, the Marines, they took him to their heart wherever we were. He was a marvelous man, the best man I ever knew. He did so much good, but he really wasn't a comedian. He was a golfer. He loved golf.
Did you have a hard time falling asleep last night?
Did I ever? I wasn't in the bed long enough to even get it warm. So I caught up on the airplane.
Took a little nap on the airplane. And you're enjoying your day here in Washington?
Absolutely marvelous. I think what these people have put together and are doing is just incomparable. It's wonderful. Everything has just gone so smoothly and so well organized. So everybody can be very proud of themselves that's had a part in this.
Well, we are very proud of you. We are very show a debt of gratitude for the service that you have given to our country. On behalf of the Santa Rosa County students, many of whom helped raise money to pay for this
And they
flight.
raised some $35,000.
Yes, they sure did.
That is remarkable. We'll never be able to thank them enough for doing that, those kids doing something like that. Maybe there's hope for America yet.
Well, certainly the youngest generation, the latest generation, paying their thanks to the greatest generation.
Well, that's appreciated.
And you are appreciated. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time today, Mr. Gates. We hope you enjoy the rest of your visit here in Washington, D.C.
Sure I will. Thank you, miss.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our veterans have finished their lunches. They've boarded the buses to take a short ride further down the monuments of the mall. They are parked near the Lincoln Memorial. They are disembarking the buses right now and will join me here at the Korean War Memorial. Behind us is the Korean War Memorial. You'll notice that the soldiers, the figures of the soldiers, they are wearing the typical military wear for that time, a poncho. Along the wall, you'll notice that there are visual pictures of other people, the support personnel who are behind our troops, working behind our troops when they are in service. Joining us now is Clarence Pape. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And where are you from?
I'm from Gulf Breeze, Florida.
And you are here in Washington, D.C., and this looks like it's an extra special visit for you. Tell us who's joining you here today.
Well, that's my grandson and his two daughters, which makes them my great-granddaughters.
And they live up here in the area?
Yeah, they live in Virginia.
And is this your first time to Washington?
No, I've been here about 30, 40 years ago one time, but nothing like this.
So is this your first time coming up to see your memorial then?
Oh, yes, very so. First time for sure.
What'd you think of it?
Fantastic. It was great. It's a beautiful contribution to us, and we appreciate it.
Did you get any sleep last night?
Not a great deal, no, because we had to get up pretty darn early.
Tell me your name.
I'm Reagan.
Reagan, are you missing school?
Yes.
We won't tell your teachers. This won't air here. That's okay. A special day for you today?
Yes, ma'am.
You get to spend some time with your great-grandfather?
Yes, I haven't seen him since 4th of July last year, so I missed him.
And what does it mean for you to be able to share his visit to his memorial here in Washington?
It's a tremendous honor. Myself being a Marine, I have the opportunity to live here and go to my memorial. But to be with him, to go see his, and to share it not only from my generation but for their generation is certainly something I can't replace.
And what's your name?
Rachel.
Rachel, did you know that part of the trip that was paid for your great-grandfather was done by school children?
Really?
It was. The school children in Santa Rosa County, which is where he lives in Gulf Breeze, they raised $33,000 to help send our veterans on Emerald Coast. Does your school do some fundraising activities?
Yes, but I never participate in them.
Well, what kind of things do they do?
They
Bake
do
sales.
bake sales, chocolate sales,
The jump rope thing.
jump rope thingies, and that's pretty much it.
And you get to take the whole day off today to spend with your great-grandfather?
I do.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you're enjoying your day. We're here at the Korean Memorial. Are you going to head over and see the Vietnam and the Lincoln?
Oh, yes, by all means.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up with you later on in the trip.
Thanks so very much.
We have caught up again with our veteran, Paul Blyler. Thank you so much for joining us.
Right, thank you.
How was your lunch?
Oh, very good. It was enjoyable.
They fed you well?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, very good.
Did you have an opportunity to catch up or to meet any of the other veterans who are on this trip with us?
I met some, yeah, and talked to young volunteer while I was eating lunch.
Yeah. And now we have disembarked here at another section of the mall, and this is the Korean War Memorial behind us.
Right.
You served during the Korean War, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And when you see these stainless steel figurines here, do they remind you of the soldiers who served during that time?
Well, they do, except I was in the Navy, and I was sort of detached from it. I was stationed at Guam during that period.
And will you take an opportunity to go over and visit the other memorials that are at this end of the mall? Have you been to the Vietnam and the Lincoln?
Yeah, I've been to all these, yeah, before.
So you'll take another moment to do
Oh,
that?
yeah. I always enjoyed coming here.
And the weather's not too bad now. The rain has stopped. It's a little bit chilly for those of us.
It sure is, yeah, right.
A little bit different from Florida, but it's okay.
Right.
It's a nice change. Well, I'll let you go ahead and go and enjoy your other memorial, the Korean War Memorial.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Right, Renee.
The Vietnam Veterans Memorial honors the courage, sacrifice, and devotion to duty and country of the men and women of the armed forces of the United States who served in America's longest war. By virtue of its design, the memorial inspires a contemplative experience and puts a human face on a divisive conflict. Veterans, their families, and others find the memorial a place for reflection and healing. On the granite walls of the memorial are more than 58,000 names of those listed as missing or killed in action in Vietnam. They are listed chronologically according to the date of death or loss. As you approach the wall, on the path to your left, you will pass the 3 servicemen statue. It reflects the shared experience of Vietnam veterans. The Vietnam Women's Memorial is located on the path to your right. More than 11,000 American women served in the military in Vietnam.
After visiting the Korean War Veterans Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and the Women in Vietnam Memorial, we reload the buses and cross the Memorial Bridge from D.C. to Virginia, passing aside America's largest burial ground, Arlington National Cemetery. Our next and final stop is at the Iwo Jima Memorial, also known as the United States Marine Corps War Memorial. Under gray skies, a group photo is taken, and then the veterans reboard the buses bound for Reagan National Airport. Quite ironically, rain begins to fall as the reality sets in that the much-anticipated Honor Flight Day in Washington, D.C. is drawing to a close. They've been up for at least 12 hours, some all night. And after nearly 6 hours in Washington, D.C., touring the monuments and viewing the national landmarks, boarding and unboarding again and again the awaiting buses, they journey up the escalator or elevator at the airport, make their way through the special security lanes, and are greeted once again by cheering onlookers who break out in spontaneous applause and come to shake the hands of our heroes and thank them for their service.
Joining us now is Chester Tucker, but he prefers to go by the nickname of Tex. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You going to tell us the story behind Tex?
Well, I'll tell you about anything I know.
Is there a story behind the nickname Tex?
Well, I'm an old ex-musician. Played on the stage with the big boys. I played with Merle Haggard. I played with Lefty Frizzell. I played, all the big boys.
Good for you. Tell us about your military service.
Well, now, there's not much to that. I was just in it for a short time. I didn't go overseas. I just did my duty here.
And what did it mean today for you to spend the day
It
up
brought
here?
back old memories and things that I'd really forgotten, because my age is kind of backing up on me. I'm 93 coming up.
93.
Yeah, I've been in D.C. while I was in service. I'd come up here and visit. I was at Camp Lee, Virginia, went through there, and then Indian Town Gap, and I served there. All over. Take off my shoes. Just wherever they wanted me to go, I had to go.
Has it been a long day?
Yes, in one way. Another way is should last a week.
You could have been up here a week.
I could have enjoyed every bit of it.
Did you have an opportunity to visit with other veterans?
Oh yeah, I seen a whole load of us come up. you know, on the bus.
Think you'll be able to sleep tonight?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How about last night? Did you get much sleep last night?
No, I don't know why. I just couldn't sleep.
The excitement.
I guess nervous.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be happy to take you back home. We're glad that you enjoyed your day today here in Washington, D.C. And Tex, thank you for serving your country.
Well, I did my duty.
Yes, you did.
And that's all I could do. And I'm proud of every bit of it.
And we're very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joining us is Harry Backus. Harry, thank you so much for spending time talking to us.
Thank you. I don't mind it.
Tell us what your day's been like.
Oh, it's been really wonderful. In other words, I've been here before and everything, but I saw things today I didn't see before.
How early did you have to get up this morning?
We got up at 3 o'clock.
Did you really sleep last night at all?
Yeah, I went to sleep as soon as I lay down last night.
Think you'll sleep much tonight?
Yeah.
And had you visited the World War II Memorial before?
No, not like I did today. In other words, I saw part of it and everything before, but in other words, this was a planned trip and everything, and I didn't have that before.
What did this trip mean to you?
Oh, an awful lot, and I tell you, I really appreciate the way that people have welcomed us up here.
Who will be waiting for you back at home?
My wife and just my family, in other words.
And I understand that you had a very interesting and challenging military experience. Can you share with us your story?
You mean part of the story?
Yes, please.
Well, I got shot down over Leipzig, Germany in World War II, and but we didn't bail out until we got to Holland, and I worked in the underground for a while, and then I got captured by the Gestapo and SS, and I was put into Belsen concentration camp, and they knocked out all my teeth and everything while I was there, and my head was as big as about 2 footballs, or basketballs really. And so a German pilot came in there with one of my men, so he brought my radio operator in there, Sergeant Hopwood, and so he identified me as his pilot. And this German pilot reached down and patted me on the back saying, everything's all right, said, I'm gonna get you out of here, said I've got to get you out because this is a sorry bunch of people that runs this outfit. Because their Army and Air Force, which they call it Luftwaffe, they were really upstanding people and everything, and they hated the Gestapo and SS as bad as we did.
So your life was saved by a German Air Force pilot?
Yeah, by a German pilot. And he took me and Hopwood to Frankfurt, Germany, and he told us we'd be interrogated there. And of course, we already knew that because we got that in all of our training back in the United States. And so, and the German pilot told us both, said you don't have to answer anything but your name, rank, and serial number. And we said, well, we knew that too. So, in other words, he spoke perfect English, which a lot of them do over there. They're surrounded. Germany is surrounded by English and French, and just about Czechoslovakia and Russia. All of those countries are all around Germany. So the ones that's educated, they all speak all of those different languages. And England is just right across from Holland and the Netherlands. But anyway, he was real nice to us. In fact, while there at the concentration camp, he backed away from me and even saluted me and everything. And so when he did that, I said, well, let me salute you. So he backed up and I stood up and saluted him and everything, because I told him I really appreciated him taking a chance on being killed himself and to come in there and get me out. So I wished I'd have had enough sense over really to get his name and his address and stuff like that, but I didn't, because my head was about this big around at that time and everything. And he pointed to me and he said, "Just look what you people have done to him," talking to the Gestapo and SS. And he said, "See, I respect him," and said, "Y'all should respect him." Said, "Of course, we all know that he's been one of the bomber pilots that's been bombing Germany, but they had a good reason to be bombing our country and everything." But anyway, he took us on to Frankfurt, and then I never saw him again, and I never saw Sergeant Hopwood again. They sent him to an enlisted camp, and of course they sent me to an officers' camp. And it was on the other side of Germany. It was really close to the Russian zone. And we stayed there a few months, and then they transferred us because the Russians came up close to us and everything. So when the Russians got close enough, then they marched us all the way across Germany then to Moosburg, Germany. And that's at Moosburg is where after I went back over after the war was over with and everything, and I went through and flew the Berlin airlift. And so anyway, during that time, right before I left to come back to the United States, they had a B-17 there on the base, and they came to me and they said, "We see you used to fly B-17s. Do you think you can still do so?" And I said, "Yeah," with my eyes closed. And they said, "Well, we got a bombing mission we want you to run, but it's going to be with candy this time." So they gave me a list of 7 towns there in Germany. And they said, "You think you can find them?" And I said, "Sure, it'll be easy." But anyway.
Well, who knows? Maybe one of the recipients of that candy was the pilot who saved your life or his children.
Well, no, I don't think so, because I stayed over there a while after that, and we made that movie of 3, they call it now, three corridors east. Back then it was, they had another name for it. There's 3 corridors. Now then when we made the movie, they changed it to the Big Lift.
Okay.
About the Berlin airlift. But anyway, I bombed those 7 towns, and the last town that we bombed was Moosburg, where I was in prison. And so when we coming up on Moosburg, I said, "Tell the fellas to get ready to bomb the town and everything," because I said Moosburg is ahead. But I said, "There's no kids in the park." I said, "I can see a park or 2 in town, but there's no kids around or anything, and then no grown-ups with them." And I just happened to look out to my left to the window, and I said, "Oh, here they are. They're down here in this barbed wire enclosure." I said, "Oh, by the way, that was where I was in prison here."
So you saw the children in the same camps. Well, Mr. Backus.
I told them, I said, "Just let me circle around, and then I'll pull over that place, and then y'all can dump the candy on them."
Well, Mr. Backus, I see they're getting ready to load you on the airplane. Are you ready to head back to Pensacola?
Sure am.
And there'll be a nice warm welcome for you back there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing this. I don't know. I've just hadn't been very well about pushing my story or anything like that. My nephew, who's a congressman up here, he met me today, come in and met me. But he's been after me for years to get my story down on tape and everything. And that's what I've been doing the last few months, is getting that down.
Well, you have a great story to tell, and we hope that today only adds to that story.
Well, it does. But anyway, and I appreciate you showing interest in it too.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your time, and most importantly, we appreciate your service to our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not to be outdone by their fellow firefighters in Washington, D.C., a water cannon salute welcomes our veterans back to their home port of Pensacola. Santa Rosa County school children line the gate and greet them with their smiles. The trip to our nation's capital to visit their memorial is almost over for these more than 100 World War II veterans. Our appreciation for their service is not.
Welcome back to Pensacola.
Thank you.
Feel good to be home?
Oh, yes.
Tell us, what is your most memorable thought from today's events?
Oh, everything is memorable. I don't know which is the most. It was just wonderful.
You had a good time despite the weather?
It was, yeah. Yeah, no problem with the weather.
On behalf of the United States Army, on behalf of the United States Marine Corps, on behalf of the United States Navy, on behalf of the United States Air Force, on behalf of the United States Coast Guard, welcome home, heroes, and congratulations on a job well done. Thank you for your service. And tote! How about hey!
Standing at ramrod straight attention, lined across the terminal walkway, are senior enlisted personnel from each of our 5 military branches: the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. The representatives welcome home and salute our heroes. Then they lead them up the long corridor of the terminal to the more than 1,000 cheering family members, friends, and fans awaiting their arrival. As the clapping grows louder and the band's music plays stronger, the heroes pick up their pace. Their shoulders pull back, grins meet tears all around. They pass under the swords of the ROTC cadets and Vietnam veterans and into the arms of loved ones. The journey of a lifetime, which started nearly 70 years ago for many of our World War II veterans, ended tonight with a fitting welcome home and thank you for their tremendous sacrifices and service for our country.
Claude, what do you think of this welcome home?
It's one hell of a welcome, man.
Isn't it a nice welcome
It
home?
sure is.
Well, thank you again for your service to our country. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, what do you think of this welcome home?
I think it's wonderful. The whole trip was wonderful. It just was fabulous. I couldn't be happier I went.
From start to finish, anything as special stand out in your mind?
Just the way the people, everybody took care of you, it was wonderful. Everything was wonderful. Anybody didn't have a good time, it was their fault.
You're right. Well, welcome home.
And I'm glad to be here. And it was wonderful reading. I'm going home and get the paper so I can read your column. This is my girlfriend.
Welcome home.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome
I'll
home.
tell Paul Jr. you want to meet him.
Yes, please do. Superintendent, a pretty warm welcome. Thank you so much to your students for coming out today.
This is a fantastic day, and I tell you, from our students have done a remarkable thing, and the attachment they've had with these veterans is truly amazing.
You truly have shown the latest generation what it is to honor the greatest generation. Thank you.
Absolutely, and that attachment and what we have learned from that greatest generation is invaluable to our kids and our faculties. We appreciate it.
Where are you at now in your fundraising? You've topped 33,000, I understand?
Top 33,000 and headed to 35 as of last night, so we're hoping that by the end of school we can raise enough to contribute a little more, and we're going to continue this into next year as well.
Well, thank you for bringing out your students. It's a very warm welcome. We'll let you go join the party.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Captain Sad, Commissioner Salter, thank you so much for coming out and for all of the hard work that you have done. I know each of you, we all owe a debt of gratitude to each of you for your hard work in putting together this wonderful event. What does this mean to you to see today's soldiers here honoring yesterday's soldiers, Captain?
It energizes me because I know that these are the soldiers, the Marines, the airmen, and the sailors who had been there and won the war and came back to make our country great, and we are benefiting from that today.
Well, we so much appreciate you coming out, and you too, Commissioner Salter, thank you so much, and I know you have worked very hard behind the scenes to put each of these flights together, this being the fourth and a very successful one. And this one is very special for Santa Rosa County because of our students' involvement, and we thank you for that.
Absolutely, and I think we have about 100 of them out in the main lobby to welcome home those veterans, and I'm so proud of our students, our teachers and parents for being part of it today. It's made it truly special for many of the veterans as the captain and I were welcoming each veteran home a few minutes ago. Many of them said, please thank our students. So.
Well, I'd like to thank each of you. Thank you for your service, your continued service to our country, and thank you so much for helping to put together a wonderful event. I was truly honored and very proud to be a part of it. Right. I'll let you go join the party. Well, it's been a very long day, but a very well-earned day for our veterans. I'm not quite sure who's more tired, our veterans, our guardians, or the media. We certainly do appreciate their service. We appreciate you watching our program. Again, thank you very much to each and every one of our World War II veterans. We honored them, we honored their fallen comrades with this program and with the Honor Flight. If you'd like to help make a contribution to a future Honor Flight program, please visit them on the World Wide Web at www.emeraldcoasthonorflight.com. Thank you so much, and God bless America.